Guess what, guys? I'm packing heat, and I'm not afraid to use it. Oh yeah. Hey everybody, what's going on? Back in the bush. Raining out, as you can hear, on the roof. I am actually out in the garage right now. We just got here an hour or two ago. A couple hours ago, Cindy and I. And look what I'm doing. Screen door repairs. What happened last year, the squirrels cut a great big hole in this. You can see it there a little better. Squirrels chewed a big hole when I took this off. When I took this off last year for the fall, or the year before, I noticed, and I put it in here to store it for the winter. Well, I come out in the spring, the squirrels chewed a hole in it. So last year we didn't even put it on. Well, I miss it. So I've got myself some dark green paint, and I'm going to give it a paint job. Going to clean it up, make it look nice, and get it back on, hopefully. As you guys can hear, it's raining. I got the stove going, so it's warming up quite nice in here already. Quite warm on my butt. And then what I got to do is pull out all the piping, or whatever they call it, on this screen. And I even bought one of the little roller tools to actually redo the piping, because I've already got the screen here somewhere, right up there. So I have to do the piping. So there's another name for it. I know it's not piping either. Well, what I got to do is get the old stuff out here first. Anybody that saw the video last week? Peonies. Guess what you don't use in the woods when you plant stuff around critters? Blood meal, bone meal. Come here this week, get out of the truck, walked over, looked at the peony. One of them, the big one on the front bed, was all dug up, a bunch of soil all torn out of one side. The other one, the little one that was out front, was pulled right out of the ground in a great big hole. Freaking skunks have to be coming over here at night and doing that, and that's what's doing it. So pretty bad, but it doesn't matter what. Doesn't matter what we do over here, we're dealing with animals. So I have squirrels chew through my screen door. Gonna fix that. Haven't seen a squirrel yet this week. What also we got to do is, I've been gardening here. This is going to be the 9th year I've had this piece of land. I've been gardening for like 7. I'm tired of deer eating the garden. So the back of the truck is actually full of 2x4s, and we bought deer netting, and we're going to build quite a structure here tomorrow. We're going to fence the freaking garden in. So win-win situation. But anyway, for now, what I got to do to get this project going, sorry about the rant, is I have to peel this out and start on my, I don't know the name, piping, whatever the heck they call it. I got to pull the old stuff out because I got to get the old screen off this screen door. So let's see how I go here getting this off, because this has to come off all the way along the door here, and then you pull the screen out, right? Because there's a tool, and I've never done this before, so it could be fun, but I know there's a tool for doing it, and I bought one. And you have to get this stuff started out of here, and once I do, I can reuse it. I think. There it is, right there. Look at that. Yep. Here we go. There's a name for this stuff. I know that. It's pulling right out. But I've never actually installed window screen this way. When I built my, look at that, it's going to come out one piece. When I built my mini cabin, all I did was staple it on the back side, and then it's hidden when I mounted the screens onto the wall. So as easy as that. Look at that, guys. That ever come out easy. Wow. Nice. Well, that was quite easy. So now I know what I'm going to have to do is, when I paint it, be careful I don't get a lot of paint in this slot. And you can also see the door moved a bit. It swelled. Well, the line is off right here. This is off a little bit. So what I'm going to do is try to knock that down, and maybe even clamp it. Put a clamp on across here and see if I can pull that down a little bit. The bottom's flush, so the bottom should be okay. So maybe this piece is lifted a bit. So what I'm going to do is try a clamp, put some pressure, but then I got to clean this up. Going to put a coat of green paint on it, so it's going to look awesome. Well, here we go, guys. I got my power all hooked up. I've got my little palm sander here, the quarter sheet sander, I'm just going to give it a quick whisk all the way around to clean it up. There's fingerprints and stuff on it. Getting warm in here, boys. Getting warm in here. Get the fire going. There we go. We'll shut this down. There we go. You can see for a hillbilly stove, I got a spark arrestor screen in there because these are an open vent and I don't want it to pop a spark out in the floor, so it ever cozy in here. It's going to make the paint dry a little faster too, because I'm using oil-based paint on this. I got rust paint, but it's the same green as what's on the roof of the cabin. So a little more sanding. This guy, I see he's broken. I got to be really careful with this. This got broken somehow. There we go. That's got to be glued right there along. I broke that, so that's got to be repaired. Not good. Not good. I just noticed that. We're going to put a bit of glue on it. Bit of glue. It'll be good to go, because I get this side is already all sanded down, so it's time to put a bit of glue on that, and I'm going to flip this. Actually, I'm going to flip the piece over. Then I'm going to put a bit of glue on that. Alright, crisis averted. The broken piece is all glued. And I'll even put a little bit of tape on it just to hold it while it dries. So now I got to give the back side a quick sand also. This is actually the outside. That's what I'm doing now. So I'm just going to hold it back here and give her a quick sand. 220 grit paper is what I used on this because I don't want to put it too rough an edge. And what I got is green. It's the same green that's on the roof of the cabin, but it's rust paint. So, meaning it's oil-based. I didn't want to go with the water-based. Cindy's a hardcore water-based person. She's always preferred that. Personally, I think oil-based is more durable outside, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to challenge that, probably give me a hard time, and that's fine. I love the opinions and what you guys think. If you saw this door, if you guys saw a couple years ago, I did a video where it was starting to turn black. So I sanded it down, and I put a coat of urethane on it to seal it. Pine door, it's outside in the weather. But the weather never hits it because it's in under the roof of the cabin. But it's south facing, I guess, so it's not really, or no, it's not south facing. It is almost as north facing. It's north facing. So, but anyway, the door turned black again. So what we're doing this time around, we're going to paint it green. I was initially going to just do the inside, but I think I want to do inside and out both. So I was going to do the inside green, or the inside white maybe, and the outside green. It'd probably look kind of silly, wouldn't it? There's no point of doing that. So I'm going to do it all one color. It's going to be green. And what I got is this oil-based paint, and on wood, this is like a self-priming paint, a urethane fortified. I don't think I really need a primer with it, and I hope I don't, because I'm just going over bare wood with the paint. It'll probably take a couple coats, but I got a quart. Seriously. So this is what I got for paint. Again, it's rust paint. Armor Coat. No, not Armor Coat. It's rust paint through Home Hardware. Actually, here. Canadian-owned store. Nice green, eh? Same color as the roof. So, just a bit of a stir. I shouldn't have to, but I'm going to. And I'm not even going to use a paint stick. I'm going to use a screwdriver because it's easier to wipe it off. But I think it's pretty good anyway. Should be decent because I shook it earlier a while. But a couple good thin coats. I got to brush it right out so it doesn't run. That should look nice on this door. It's going to make it look older. Even though it's new, it's going to look older when it's done. Here goes nothing, guys. Let's see what this goes on like. Should go on pretty decent, I think. Wow. I just gotta be careful I don't get runs in it. Brush it out really good the first coat to get my brush marks out of it. Don't wish me luck. Wow, that's green. Haha, dark green. And it's gloss green, so hopefully I like it. We could have got like a semi-gloss mixed up, but when we went in the hardware store to get stuff yesterday, I was on a mission and I didn't feel like standing around waiting for somebody to mix me paint. So maybe I should have been patient. But this is oil base, so you're not going to go over it with water base now. You can go over water with oil, but you can't go over oil with water because it'll bead, it'll fisheye, right? Everywhere. So she's green, boys and girls. She's green. I'm going to let it set up a little bit before I turn it over, because I'll just end up making a mess if I don't. This will help seal it for sure, for now. Should definitely help seal it. Try to get some of the big brush marks out of it, so it comes out decently flat, right? You try to brush it out decent. Should be okay. I don't mind it so far. Looking good. Well, there you go, guys. That's about as green as she gets. Look at that. That's with the lights off. Green gloss door. That's all I'm doing for now. I'm going to let that dry a little bit before I flip it to the other side to do the coat on the inside. I did all the edges and everything, so we're going to go outside. We're going to go and see what Cynthia's up to. Pretty crazy. The pile of 2x4s I brought. 30 of them. And a bunch of tomato cages. Some deer netting. Big old bucket. Because I'm tired of critters eating everything. Tired of it, tired of it, tired of it. Strawberries look great there, Ken. What do you think? You grew these before? Ken Chandler. They look pretty good. They look pretty good. We have resident ducks here now. I know guys probably tired of hearing about it, but they're not leaving. They don't go. Because we've been feeding them now, and they won't leave. So, and in the fall, when it comes time for ducks to go, we know enough, we'll stop right here alone, chasing each other around the lawn. I think they're two big females, and I don't think they have nests. I think it's a mother and one of her brood from last year. With a pile of crap here, I already filled everything back in, but something dug a great big hole around both, dug the whole side of this. So, guaranteed that was a freaking skunk. Anyways, let's go in the cabin. We have a new chick hanging out with us this week. She's a ginger. See if we can meet her. There she is. Well, that's the ginger. We brought a new one. This is, I call her Red. Hey, Phoebe is her name. I call her Red. She was Cindy's cat when we met. It was kind of like a Brady Bunch family, and I had 2 cats and she had 2 cats, so we got together and we ended up 4 cats. So Fred, I don't think Fred's gonna come over anymore. It's not worth it for poor Fred. He's too stressed out. We brought him over here last week. He was just not himself for like 2 weeks until we finally got him back to normal. This new kitchen, he just can't process it. He can't handle it, the poor little boy. If I walk in the house with a pair of car keys in my hand and he sees me, he goes running. I've had him since he was 5 months old. The cat has never had a hand laid on him or anything. He's had a really good life, very cushy life. He's been coming over here for 5 years. Don't know what the problem is. But anyway, the new superstar is going to be Red. And then here's the other. I call her Red. Here's the other one. This is the real superstar. And that's the superstar. I don't tell her she's my favorite, but yeah, this is Phoebe, but I call her Red. She's a beautiful cat. Beautiful cat. I don't give her enough credit, I guess, at the house, but it's her first time here. She is loving it right now. Loving it, because we got bird feeders everywhere. And we have at the house too, but they're a lot farther. So right here, she's up close and personal. So while I was out there painting the door, guess what awesome Cynthia's doing in there? Check her out. For dinner, chicken soup. How much better than homemade chicken soup can you have? Doesn't that look like traditional chicken soup? What do you think, chick?
I don't know.
Chicken nugget, making chicken soup.
I can add more rice or
Chicken
more
nugget.
chicken.
What?
I can add more rice or more chicken.
Whichever you like. More rice, maybe thicken it up a bit more. Man, that freaking soup she made was amazing. She is such a good cook. What an awesome, awesome human being, too. Inside, green. Not going to show you painting the whole freaking door. But this is going to, I think this is going to look pretty nice once I get the new screen on it, which is laying right up there on top of the ladder. I think you can see it laying there. New piece of window screen I got to put on here, so tomorrow once it dries, and I want to put a second coat on the outside, and I'm definitely, I was gonna say I could put the screen and then recoat the outside. No, you're not. You get paint all over it. So I'm probably gonna flip it over again in the morning and do that. So back to the cabin for a while. So anyways, it's Saturday. I need to get out front and start at my enclosure for the deer. You want to talk a total disaster? I'm painting this door. Guess what? I've had the heat on all day. Looks okay. This is still about as sticky as you think I painted it about an hour ago. And this has been, well, it's already early afternoon the next day. Pretty disappointing. I've used other kinds of rust paints, and I'll tell you, it didn't take that long. So whatever this rust coat I think they sell at Home Hardware, can't say I'm liking this stuff, sorry. I've used Armor Coat, they call it, the Canadian Tire sell. This stuff dries in a couple hours, and it actually puts a really good finish on metal and on wood. So anyway, I don't know about this rust coat. Sorry, Home Hardware, not impressed with your products here right now. Anyway, I get these all lined up in the back of the truck. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my All Powers power station down here, and I'm going to get out my miter saw, my skill saw, and I'm going to put a point on each one of these on the end, because then I'm going to burn them. I'm going to char the ends because they're going to get pounded into the ground. So stay tuned. This is going to get kind of cool in a bit. I'm going to be playing with fire. This will work here. Oh, ain't that funny? What? I got a metal cutting blade still in my skill saw. Oh, this ain't gonna do much on wood.
Oh dear.
She laughs at me.
No, because I've done sillier things.
She laughs at me. Yeah, I was cutting metal last time with this. Unbelievable. They change a blade, I'll be back in a bit. Alright, this might work. I got a wood blade in it this time to actually cut wood. Let's see what happens. Yeah, baby. That's all I'm going to do is put points on them all so I can drive them in. Points on those ones. Oh my God, he even wore safety glasses. Look at you, Safety Sparky. What a good man. So basically, what I'm going to do with these 2x4s, where they're going to be driven into the ground, a lot of people know this, and maybe you don't. If you char wood, it won't rot. It may, but it takes a long freaking time. You have to blacken it to the point of burning it, basically look like it's been in a fire. And if you can char it, and then you just quench it in some water to stop it from burning, and you basically make it rot resistant, pest resistant. Seen that a few times on the Alaska, the Rainies on the show there, Homestead Rescue Show. The Rainies did there, Matt Rainey and the dad and all that. Yeah, the whole Rainey family, they go out and save people in their homesteads and all that. That's where I learned that. They do a lot of pole fences and that. When they're going to put them in the ground, they char it first, blacken it. I guess what I'm gonna do here now. Guess what, guys? I'm packing heat, and I'm not afraid to use it. Oh yeah. How's that? I think this will do the job. This should do the job, no problem at all. Check it out. I'm gonna do these one at a time. I was gonna do them all, but I'm gonna do them one at a time. Pretty friggin' cool. Check this out. This gun has a trigger on it, so it just idles in the pilot mode. Anyways, I'm gonna flip this over and do the other side of this one. Works pretty good, eh? That's all I gotta do. Pretty cool, eh? Natural wood preservative. Anyways, I gotta do the rest of these, so I'm not gonna show you burning all these, but I'll show you when I'm almost done. Pretty friggin' cool, eh? 10 torched logs. Turn this thing off. Little dial here. Just shut that off. It's got an igniter on it. It was like 50 bucks in Amazon. What a beast. What a beast. Bought it to do the deer structure around the house, because I did the one at the house out of poles, small poles, about the size of this guy here, and that's what I did them out of. I didn't really have time to cut a bunch of poles here, so there's my 10 uprights all charred nicely, and that'll definitely protect them. A couple of them, like this one, that's why it's a utility stud or an Econo stud. That thing is so saturated. I held the torch and just held it on that thing, and it didn't want to char because that one just saturated with water. But the rest of them come up pretty good. They're only going in the ground about a foot anyway, so because we bought netting is 7 feet high. So we got to get out front here. I don't know how much I'm going to get done today. I'm hoping to get a fair amount at least framed in today, and maybe tomorrow, even in the morning, we'll do some netting. But anyway, that was I used a couple pounds of propane to do all that. That's pretty good. That thing just hooks to a good old 20-pound tank. What a beast. Packing heat, not afraid to use it. This can be a little bit awkward to show you guys, but anyway, we're out here, we're all set up. We're gonna get the first post in. I'm gonna stand in the back of the truck. Cindy's gonna hold it for me. I'm only driving these down in about a foot. Go this way a bit. About there, okay. Okay. Well, the first corner started. We're going to kind of level everything up, go off of this. That's a good start anyway. Well, as usual, most projects we didn't get nearly as much done today as we had hoped to, and the rain is already starting to fall a bit here. It's getting wet. But you can see, I got some basics here. Got some poles. All the posts are driven in. Everything's got to be squared up and leveled up. That's going to be the basics. Because I don't think I'm going to have enough. I'm going to probably get another 10 2x4s. It's going to be crazy how many I'm going to need. But anyways, it's starting to rain, so we're going to pack her up and head into the camp for now. Well, you know what? It's Sunday morning, and I don't give up easy on stuff. So we're actually back out front here. And what I'm going to do is, man, I got some twisted 2x4s here. That one over there on the other side. Look at the curve. Econo studs they're called. Anyway, what I'm going to do is build my two end walls. And the way I've got this designed is, it's all going to be netted with deer netting, but these side walls are going to be permanent. They're not going to go anywhere. They're going to stay here. The end walls here, and at the other end, I'm going to make them both totally removable, because when I want to rototill this in the spring or in the fall or whatever, I'll probably have like 3 screws down each side, and this whole wall is going to come out. There's going to be a door in this end, no door in that end. I don't really need a door at that end of it, so... But what I got to do here to get started is build this end wall. So I'm only going to build the one for that end first, the far end. It's only going to be 5 2x4s. Let's get her going. Okay, as you guys can see, it's going to be a really basic layout, and it's going to be done on flat on the face, because the rest of it is for one, but it gives me more surface area to nail to. And what I'm going to do is, when I put the end in, the flat face will sit here. So I'm going to screw in through here, right into the face. So I'm going to build this square, and then I'm going to put a couple cross braces in the corners, diagonals, to keep everything square from going out of whack, right? This will be the far end down there. So I'm going to put her together. Well, here we go. Crazy weather today. 1 minute it's raining, then it's clearing up. Black flies are out, black flies are gone. We've been so lucky they haven't got us yet. I already got it all framed out. I've got these cross braces in the corner. I'm just going to screw them on now, and then that's the first wall. That's the end wall for the other ends. So let's get her together. Long screws. Just help brace the corner. I've already squared it up. 128 inches corner to corner. It's right on the money. So this will keep her square. And hear the birds. This sounds so beautiful when you're here. Quite a spot. But the black flies have not caught us yet. There's a few out here, but they're not biting. The year I built the cabin 8 years ago now, in July, or in May actually, I started building the floor. It was so bad that year I had to wear a bug net. Black flies are going up my nose, in my eyes. One of those times. Good times. But anyway, this is just the bracing, and then the end wall's ready to put in already. One screw in each for now to help preserve some screws. I can go around later and add one to each. I get more. They're 3.5, so they're heavy gauge. This drill's 10 years old, and it's mind-boggling what this has done for me in 10 years. This little Black & Decker. Alrighty. I like when stuff is light like this. No tractors required.
You can actually walk on that, you know.
Well, I'm going to have to at some point.
Yeah. We do have a hoe. We can...
Okay, I need you to come stand here and hold this for a minute. Will that fit in there? Yeah. And again, 3 screws in each side. This whole end wall is going to be removable when I want to remove it. There'll be 3 screws. How strong is that, huh? Literally, you could frame this in as a building already. Cindy thinks I should just try the posts in the ground. Don't put anything else on them.
Well, that was my idea.
Well, it's just, this is going to be rugged, right? You never know. Technically, guys, down the road someday, maybe it'll get wrapped in vapor barrier and we'll turn it into a greenhouse in the spring, right? Have some panels to open up on it. 3rd screw. Whoops, that was better before. There we go. That's in. Well, there you go, guys. Got that end all fastened in already. Done deal. Got to build the other end here at the door. And that's all I'm going to have the lumber for this week, because then I'm going to fasten. I'm going to join between the top of all these pieces. I'm going to cut a line so they're straight. Join them all together, and then across the 3 in the middle here, they're going to go that way. And then what I'll do is where it crosses over here, I'll run a diagonal brace inside here. That'll take any side play out of this so it doesn't go back and forth that way. She thinks I'm crazy overkill, but if you're going to do it, you might as well do it, and it's going to be here for a while. Now I got to build the other end wall.
Okay.
Rather than a knot. Well, there you go, guys. This is wall number 2. Like, the whole end wall weighs, I don't know, what's 5 2x4s weigh? Or 6, I guess it is. Put it in place. Set it up in.
Ta-da.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Ta-da.
Well, there you go, guys. That's all we're going to get done here for this weekend on this project, because I'm out of wood. 32 by 4s already consumed by this, and probably going to take a few more. That's the doorway, obviously. Going to put 1 row right down the middle, a walking path, and then plant on the left and plant on the right. But as you can see, it's going to be nice in there. And again, all I got to do is join all the top with 2x4s, 1, 2, 3, 4, need 8. Cut down, it's a 5-foot span in there to make the 20. And then I'm going to put across the 3 with some little corner bracing in there to help beef it up. So enough out here for today. Going to head into the cabin here for a few minutes, and we're going to pack her up and get out of here soon. It is Sunday morning already, so weekends go way too fast over here. Whew, there you go. Man, oh man, had a good Sunday morning here. It's actually early afternoon already, and we did good. We did good. I was a little disappointed I didn't get as much done yesterday on the whole deer structure out there, because it rained on and off all day. But went out there this morning, got both end walls built in about an hour. Got everything pretty well squared up, straightened up a bit. Need about another dozen or so 2x4s to finish it off. So next weekend I'll bring them back and we'll get her finished off and get the screening, the netting on it. And after I did that this morning, I went out in the garage. I got another coat of paint on my green door, because that stuff takes about a year to dry. So, you know, hopefully by next weekend that'll be dry. And we got it done anyway. We're going to grow corn this year in the garden. Any comments out there, please? Anybody that grows corn, any tips on what we need to do to have successful corn? But the only thing I know about growing it, neither one of us have ever had much luck. Cindy hasn't grown it much, and I haven't either. But I know I've read before that don't even waste your time if it's cold. Wait till the warmer weather hits before you even bother planting it. The seeds won't germinate when it's cold. But we were even thinking of possibly, I was saying to her, you can start seed in little cups or whatever at home and actually put them in as little bedding plants, and people do it that way too. We're going to have that whole structure fenced in now, because before Anytime I grew it, raccoons would get at it. Hopefully they won't climb over and go in if we do have a good harvest. But anyway, but any comments out there on growing, good tips on how to grow your corn and that, please. Basically that bed, we're thinking string beans, corn, and the string beans, the deer annihilate them, right? And potatoes is mostly what's going to be in there. Probably would be string beans, corn, and potatoes. And we have 3 or 4 or 5 different types of string beans. Got purple, yellow, and green. And then we're gonna, again, we've got 3 or 4 or 5 different types of corn we bought, just experimental for this year, and we got some potatoes. So, any comments for them, Cynthia? Anything you want to say to the viewers? No, the subscribers.
No.
No. What? What was it?
Well, I found that little lichen on the
Oh,
grass,
we'll have
and
to. Yeah.
I forgot to bring it
Yeah, I'll
up.
show it. We'll get a little look of it next week. First weekend for Phoebe, they're Red, aka Red, to come over. She's had a heck of a time up there in the loft right now, running around, I believe. Let's go up the goat with the selfie stick. Up there somewhere. How you doing, Red? They're both up there. Her and Daisy are both up there, having a great time. Again, like I said earlier, poor Fred, he just, for our enjoyment, it's not worth that poor little kitty's stress level, because he hates it here. And it's not here, he hates the trip over. But now, since I put a new kitchen in, well, this is a whole different place again for him. It's like taking him to a new house. And Fred doesn't do well with change. So I think from now on, anyway, for a while, we're going to bring over Red, the big fluffy redhead, and the Ginger, and we're going to bring Daisies. And birds, hummingbirds, ducks, and just a variety of birds on the feeders here all weekend. So quite a place. Anyways, gonna shut her down for now. Gonna be back next week, get that finished. A bunch of whole different stuff coming on again next week. So from Cynthia and I, nothing else. Live simply, remain grateful, and we'll talk to you soon.